if you don't follow politics too closely, you would be surprised that Republicans are not going to vote to convict. I think it's quite possible we get a couple more than one would have anticipated. But what that also indicates to me is that people who don't follow politics too closely think this is worthy of conviction. It suggests to me that people are following this impeachment trial more than one might imagine and are taking it quite seriously, and as well they should. It has been, I think, clearly established, right, that we know the Senate voted that Donald Trump can be held to account in an impeachment trial in the Senate, even though he's not president anymore. I think it's been quite clearly established that the rioters rioted. Now, the big question is, did Donald Trump incite this riot? And the evidence, I think, has been, fairly obvious to some of us, but I think it's going to be impossible for Republicans with a straight face to deny that's the case. Here's Joaquin Castro in the Senate impeachment hearing yesterday. He's one of the House managers. And just if there was any question as to what Donald Trump was tweeting out was in any way guiding what those insurrectionists were interested in, this sort of puts that to bed.
At 2:24 p.m., he tweeted, quote, "Mike Pence didn't have the courage to do what should have been done to protect our country and our Constitution. USA demands the truth." Over an hour and a half into the attack, and this is what he tweeted. And he still, even at this point, did not acknowledge the attack on the Capitol, let alone condemn it. Instead, he further incites the mob against his own vice president, whose life was being threatened. Well, some of you may say, well, who was paying attention anyway? Well, that mob was paying attention.
Mike Pence didn't have the courage to do what should have been done to protect our country and our Constitution, giving states a chance to certify a corrected set of facts, not the fraudulent or inaccurate ones which they were asked to previously certify. U.S. demands the truth.
Mike Pence is a bitch! Mike Pence is a bitch!
Can I speak to Pelosi? Yeah, we're coming, bitch! Oh, Mike Pence, we're coming for you too, fucking traitor!
Donald J. Trump sent a tweet out saying that Mike Pence let us down. Mike Pence let us down, people. If you want to get something done, you're going to have to do it yourself.
The insurgents amplified President Trump's tweet attacking the vice president with a bullhorn. They were paying attention. And they also followed instructions. In fact, the insurgents were at one point, as you saw, 60 feet away from the vice president and the vice president's family.
Total coincidence. Total coincidence. No proof they're reading the tweet. They just came up with the same idea. That's just a total coincidence. Must mean it's true.
Great minds think alike.
I mean, if that's not enough right there, I mean, obviously, people have seen the speech that he gave. But if that's not enough to establish that there was a relationship between what these rioters were doing and what Donald Trump was telling them, if it is in the minds of these Republican senators that that's just being superimposed upon and projected onto that dynamic just because they're Democrats saying it. How do you explain away this, as reported by the Punch Bowl, that House Leader McCarthy got into a heated exchange with Trump as he refused to grasp the severity of the Capitol attack? Here it is. House GOP leader Kevin McCarthy, as rioters were overrunning the Capitol building, engaged in a heated exchange with President Trump as he pushed them to denounce the attack, according to a source briefed on the back and forth. McCarthy, Trump's closest ally and confidant on Capitol Hill, was impressing upon Trump the real-time severity of the situation and implored him to forcefully denounce the attackers. Trump demurred. The point is that Kevin McCarthy thought that Donald Trump had the ability and the control over these people. That's why he called Trump. He wasn't calling Trump to say, come rescue me. Can you pull the car around? He wasn't saying to Trump, like, can you get in your jetpack and fly over here and get us out of here? He was saying, you have control over this insurrection, these rioters. And I'm asking you to exert that control in a way that's going to help us not get killed.
Yeah, notably, it wasn't going after the Democrats because it was Antifa coming in, right? He wasn't saying Pelosi, call off Antifa. He was saying Donald Trump, call off these MAGA people.
He was asking Trump to call off these people that Trump had sent in there. I mean, why call Trump if Trump has no control over these people? And maybe McCarthy was just good at explaining it to Trump, and that's why he didn't get that he should do that, because he didn't do it. I mean, so there you have a completely valid witness articulating that there was a relationship between these rioters and Donald Trump, that Donald Trump had control over these people. And then you also get insight into Donald Trump's mindset that he had no problem with what they were doing. And that's from Kevin McCarthy. And I got to imagine that there's other Republicans. They're sitting there and they know. They absolutely know. There really is the impressive part about this, and the scary part about this is we still don't know how far these Republican lawmakers would be willing to go down this road. We don't know. We haven't hit the limit. And so, this concerted attempt and multi-pronged attempt by Donald Trump to reverse the election results, there is absolutely no reason to believe that if it wasn't closer, and if there wasn't a little bit more opportunity, that 45 at least of these Republican senators wouldn't have gone along with it. And these other 5 who didn't go, who are ostensibly primed to vote for his conviction, maybe, they're doing this after he's out of power. But we don't know the outer limits of where these people would have, how far they would have gone. And I would suggest to you that there's every reason to believe it would have been pretty far. Speaking of which, when we come back in just a moment, Ari Berman will be here to tell us how Republicans are determined to not lose an election again because people are voting. Let's put it that way. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.